So this happened. DC Comics canceled the Vertigo title Second Coming. This was supposed to be a satirical take on the return of Jesus Christ. Jesus comes back and, wait for it, he's shocked by what people have done with his teachings. Totally original. No one's ever done that before. Not in the last 2,000 years. Nope. You know what's also original? God being disappointed with Jesus. The writer Mark Russell said in the Bleeding Cool interview, quote, God was so upset with the fact that Jesus got crucified the last time that he wouldn't even let him look through the celestial keyhole at earth to keep up. He still gets to talk to people when they come to heaven, so he has a rough idea of what's going on down there. But he doesn't know how sideways things have gone until he's come down to earth and sees it for himself. So, when Jesus comes back, he shacks up with the superhero Sunman, I guess to learn how to do it right this time. That part seems original, and I guess it could work. It would be funny to see Jesus and a fake Superman in a team-up book. Of course, when you play with religion, you're gonna piss somebody off, so in comes a petition to have DC Comics cancel the title. Look, I get it. People are precious about their faith. I also get that neither Russell or DC Comics would even think about doing this with Muhammad. Jesus is an easy target in our culture, especially among the left. Now, in fairness, Russell has written 2 books about the topic, and in the Bleeding Cool article, he talks about how the modern evangelical variant of Christianity is very different from the actual message you find in the New Testament, which is true. This is, of course, what happens with religion. People take what works for them, change it to suit them better, and ignore the rest. Personally, I don't have a problem with the book. I intended to check it out, mostly because I've seen this type of story told so many times, and I wanted to see if Russell could make it any different. I mean, honestly, how many times have we seen the whole Jesus was a fuck up, or Christians didn't get the message, or God is disappointed in Jesus story? It's been done so many times. At least try to do something different. Like, make him Asian. That's right. Jesus comes back, he's reincarnated as an Asian kid, a little Chinese boy. And of course he knows Kung Fu, because it wouldn't be funny if he didn't. You're in. You're already in. I haven't told you a goddamn thing about it. You already want to read this book. That's how good that idea is. I mean, you can have so much fun with the Jesus stuff. Like, what if Jesus got the death note? You can just see it. It writes itself. Jesus is over there with this book and John the Baptist is like, what are you doing? Jesus is like, oh, stuff. He starts scribbling things down, snickering to himself. Really, no, what are you doing? Nothing really. And then he just takes this huge step to the side, and John's like, what'd you do that for? And before he can even finish, a plane comes out and just takes him clean out. And then Jesus comes over and he twiddles his fingers because, he can bring people back to life. And then John gets up and he's like, not cool. Why? I don't get the problem. I'm going to tell your dad. And then Jesus just deepens his voice and he goes, what dost thou wish to tell me, my son? Because, he's his own dad. See? It just writes itself. You could have so much fun with this. Now, the fun part really is playing the thing straight. Everyone always does satire with this stuff. Everyone always does a takedown. What if someone just played with the mythology, like how the Japanese would do it? Use the concepts to tell a particular story, but leave the religious commentary to the side. It could be there, really, it should be there, but when you've got so much to work with, why reduce it to just that? I mean, what if multiple people claim to be Jesus? What if people who fit certain groups' expectations of what Jesus should look like got the most attention? What if the version of Christianity that's true is one of the abandoned versions? What if you pulled from the Jewish mysticism and added that in too? Does Jesus have powers? Like real powers? How do they work? If he's back, why isn't he just healing people? Are there limits to how much he can heal people? And if there are, what are they? Where does God and Satan fit in all of this? What about the other 2 Abrahamic religions? How do they fit into this? What about other religions? Do they exist? And if they do, how do they interact with this? Does Jesus interact with, say, Thor or Heracles? So much room to play, but everyone immediately goes for the obvious teardown of Christianity. And I'm saying that as an atheist. There's a lot to choose from. You don't have to do the same thing everybody else does. Now, with Russell's book, the irony is that DC didn't actually cancel it. He did. He asked DC for the rights back, and they gave them to him. Once the news got out that the book was canceled, someone asked Dan DiDio about it, and he said that DC asked Russell to make some changes, and Russell didn't want to make them, and that's about the time that he asked for the rights back. I can only imagine what the changes were. The book getting pulled might kill some of the heat against it, and if Russell takes it to one of the publishers he claims are begging to get this book, it probably will get less media attention, so it wouldn't catch the eye of the conservative media again. Could be a TV or film deal in the works, and maybe having total rights gets Russell more control. Could be a money thing, maybe he'd make more money off the orders if it went through a different company. Whatever the reason, I hope Russell publishes the book. I know people will be like, I thought you hated the SJWs. Why do you want this book out? Simple. I don't think anyone should have to self-censor. Let him make and publish the book, and if it's shit, it's shit. But he should get to put the book out. He shouldn't have to silence himself, especially for a bunch of people who have no intention of buying the book anyway. Your stupid petition has no impact. DC does not give a shit. Don't do it. Let the man publish the book, and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And if you want to see if it's crap, go ahead, buy it, and if it's bad, let everyone know. So, I'm hoping he does get it published. If it does come out, I'll pick it up and review it, and if it's bad, I'll say so. If it's good, I'll say the same thing. Nobody should be petitioned into silence or need to find a smaller publisher to lose some of the heat from a book none of the people petitioning it intend to read. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.